This is Tyler Joseph of the band 21 Pilots, and he's recently found himself in some hot water after some insensitive tweets. So we're going to be talking about this today because it deals with human rights, it deals with the Black Lives Matter crowd, and it deals with cancel culture. So we're going to talk about all that, guys, and break it down for you. But before we do, I'd ask that you check us out here at pressfortruth.ca. When you click on this banner, Press for Truth Band, subscribe here. It'll take you here where you can watch the video that explains my being pulled off of YouTube. Here's all the other platforms that you can add me on that I'm uploading to daily now. And here's to where you can support my efforts on Patreon or Subscribestar. A one-time PayPal donation, go get funding, or you can send an e-transfer direct to Dan at pressfortruth.ca. Guys, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please check the links in the description below. All right, so Tyler Joseph of the band 21 Pilots here hasn't posted to his Twitter account in 3 months. So what ended up happening is you've had a large group of people pressuring him lately to use his platform, his large platform here, to raise awareness and to say Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter crowd are coming at him saying, use your platforms to talk about what's going on in the world. And here's how he decided to respond to that after not saying anything after 3 months. He chimed in with this: "You guys keep asking me to use my platforms. Feels good to dust these bad boys off." And he posts a few pictures of himself, of course, wearing some platforms. Well, that got Twitter up in an uproar. You got tweets like this coming in: "No, that's actually not what we meant. We would like you to speak up on the injustice in our country," with 20,000 likes. Or you got this one: "You knew what we wanted from you, something extremely important, and you balked it." I had to chime in here with this. He doesn't owe you a damn thing. Well, how did he respond to all of this harsh criticism about his tweet? Well, I thought it was brilliant. He goes on to say this: "Your own mental health should always be a priority. I'm amazed at how easy it is to forget that simple fact. It's something that can sneak up on you. Then eventually you can check in on it and realize it's in bad shape." And guys, he goes on a tirade here of suicide posts. He's talking about mental health issues. He's raising awareness about suicide. He says here, according to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, on average, there are 132 per day. He just goes on and on about suicide. He posts here, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I thought this was brilliant. And here he really sums it up, guys, what he's doing here. He says up here, "I respect all the warriors out there fighting for different causes. There's honor in it, purpose, and it can make our world better. I just want to remind you of what I'm fighting for. Your mental health is more important today than it has ever been. You're not alone." And I thought, good job, kid. Way to go. You know, they were really pressuring you into doing this, and you stood up for what you believed in and said, look, this is my platform. I will use it to raise awareness. And he did so about a cause that he believes in. And I thought that was awesome, guys. It reminded me of this situation. Do you remember this? Do what you're told, fascists. When all these BLM mobsters were surrounding this poor lady, demanding she raise her fist in solidarity, and she refused to do it. Well, again, good on her. You know, it would have been terrible if she did. Well, the internet continued to be relentless with Tyler Joseph, and we got stuff like this coming up with, 15,000 likes here. It's disappointing to see you joke about this, dude. Or this: "You look good, but this caption is really tone deaf and insensitive. You've been known to not like to talk about politics, but are human rights really that political? No, they are not. As I am sure you've seen petitions going around. Please spread them. Use your platform for real." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when I'm incredibly sad to say that he posted this: "I'm truly sorry if it hurt anyone. Here is a link with a lot of great info I stand by, and the link contains petitions and places to where you can donate to Black Lives Matter." And he continues, "My tweets wasn't supposed to be about human rights. So in case you're wondering where I stand, Black Lives Matter. I just wanted to take a moment to raise awareness about something that has meant a lot to me for a long time. But now I see there is no room for that now." I was so disappointed to hear the young man say that. I had to chime in and say, don't kowtow to the mob. You were right the first time. By saying BLM now, you're like the lady who refused to raise her fist. Only if all of a sudden she caved and raised her fist, that would have been pathetic. You don't owe anyone anything. Just be you, my dude. And in fact, guys, it reminds me of this guy right here. Do you remember when Mario Lopez went through this scenario where he made this statement? He's like, look, I'm never going to tell anyone how to parent their kids. And I think if you come from a place of love, you really can't go wrong. But at the same time, my God, if you're 3 years old and you're saying you're feeling a certain way, or you think you're a boy or a girl or whatever the case may be, I just think it's dangerous as a parent to make that determination then. It's sort of alarming. And my gosh, I just think about the repercussions later on. Very sane and rational thing to say. Very responsible thing to say. He mentioned a 3-year-old getting the idea of transitioning, and if you entertain that, that could be dangerous. Well, oh, wouldn't you know it? The trans community just lashed out at him for this, and what did he do? He kowtowed to the mob, and Mario Lopez apologizes for ignorant comments about parenting and gender identity. No, you tool, you were right the first time. This cancel culture has got to stop. People kowtowing to the mob and apologizing for things that they shouldn't be apologizing for has to stop. You guys remember when similar things happened to me? Here, BLM rally live in Vancouver with Press for Truth, and then all of a sudden, Dan Dix assaulted and then arrested after being attacked by a groupthink mob. Then Dan Dix kicked while down, GoFundMe campaign removed, $7,000 stolen from PFT. And finally, the VPD get violent when PFT, as Dan Dix is told, you're under arrest for your own protection, guys. And, you know, here they are assaulting me in the streets. Surrounding me like a massive mob. I end up getting arrested in this whole melee, and I didn't even say anything, you know, as opposed to these other dudes. You know, these people just wrongfully accuse me of being a white supremacist and inciting violence at this thing, when you see from my 3-hour live stream, that's certainly not the case. So I wasn't even saying anything, but, you know, unlike those other guys, I'm not going to back down, guys. I'm not going to let this mob scare me into not continuing to speak my mind and talk about the things that I know to be true. So again, this cancel culture has gotten so out of control now that unfortunately, not only dudes like this, but now guys like this, who I used to kind of like, you know, are now sadly apologizing for just being themselves and speaking the truth. It's sad, but it's something important to consider, moving forward, as I think this cancel culture is only going to continue to grow out of control. So let's learn from these things and grow. Guys, if you appreciate the information I brought to the table in this video, please click the thumbs up button and share this one. And don't forget to click the links in the description to where you can find this channel. You can find me on BitChute, Library, Float, DLive, Minds, a whole bunch of others. And also my Patreon, my Subscribestar, my PayPal, my Go-Get funding, and to where you can send a one-time donation direct via e-transfer. Anything certainly helps. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.